if we get one in within the first 10-15 minutes, I think the dam bursts. But remember, we're going to have a referee against us as well. So
it's Craig Thompson, isn't it? Do you know, it's one of the things where he's probably the best of what there is, but he's made some ridiculously bad decisions in previous Celtic Rangers. Mind they booked Maloney for diving at Ibrox when it was like a clear-cut penalty.
Yeah, that's right.
But I suppose he's the best of a bad. In fact, is he not the only one that's here?
I don't think he is literally the only guy. Chris Sermanni, how are you?
Mm-hmm.
You're looking terrific.
He's eating biscuit.
You're eating a biscuit.
Yes. Didn't even ask for it, I just fucking took it.
That's what you do. That's the Italian spirit of you. Christo, seriously.
Yeah, seriously.
How did Celtic line up for you?
Same team.
Same team?
Same team.
Well, he had about 14 in the starting 11.
No. Same defence.
That's our tactic.
Same defence, beat on. Then I would have.
It's the same. I think for all of us, it'll be the same 4, 5, 6, 7. First 7 will be the same, and then who would you have?
Stokes.
You're not a fan of Stokes, but you'd have him for this game.
In terms of his form's been more impressive than any of the other wide players recently.
His hair's coming on.
His hair's coming on. It's like one of those, you know, there's things, the potato things you grow the grass in.
Like, the plasticine thing you push it on.
Fucking tremendous.
I think that's what they've based those techniques on.
The potato
head
thing. Grow the grass in. You know what? I do, but I shouldn't. Anyway, Stokes.
I'd play Stokes. He knows what it's all about as well, you know. He knows what it's all about.
Oh, he does, aye. He does, aye.
that was innuendo, Bryan.
So he knows exactly what it's all about.
The word that's opposite of innuendo. That's what. Is there a word?
Is it endo? Endo. Anyway.
Endo?
Jesus. Out you.
Out you endo, aye. Out you endo.
Ironically enough.
Chris, continue.
So Stokes. Johansson. And then...
We're not even drinking at this point. That's the worrying thing.
I don't know.
We're going to do a post
Henderson.
Old Firm.
I'd play Henderson.
And who else?
Henderson's...
Up front, I'd probably play Guidetti.
So Stokes, Johansson, Henderson, Guidetti. Bryan?
It's difficult. I would like to see Forrest start. Forrest, Stokes, Johansson, and then it's a difficult one. Bugger it, I'll go for Guidetti as well.
Ciaran?
Yeah, I'd have Stokes, Johansson, Stokes, Forrest, and for me, I'd go with Griffiths. I think Griffiths would do better. I think he'd win a defence. Well, not to be too hard with their defenders, he can't fucking win. So I think he'd get him behind him pretty easy. So I think he's getting more mobility and more movement than what Guidetti does.
Griffiths scored, he scored that cracker at Hampden when
for
he was
Hibs.
there last time. For
Hibs. In terms of actually, what your
because the other thing as well is with Guidetti, his form. Okay, he's not been having a game, but when he started on Saturday, for me, he didn't do anything. In fact, he's not even been getting on because the previous 2 games to that, Griffiths started and Skeffich came on ahead of him as well. So he was third choice. So he's got no faith in him just now.
There's part of me that has this idea that Guidetti would do it, but frankly he's off form. So I think your Stokes,
the form
your
breaks are the
Johansson, that's a good point. Hendo and Griffiths up front. Although, to be honest, yes,
and you, Hendo.
They're the league below us. Maybe we should just put out the development squad.
That's it. Listen, hey.
Give them a wee go.
So you would go with Johansson, Henderson,
Stokes,
Griffiths. So
One of us wants Collins.
No, I've not one of us does want Commons.
Uncommon.
Commons could come on and do something from the bench. I guess. I'd rather just go with him with the fastest players we've got, the most fit players we've got. Commons still looks unfit to me. I know people say, no, he plays in small channels and small triangles in the pitch and blah blah blah. Fuck off, he's just unfit. Guidetti,
because he can't play in big triangles because he can't run.
Because he's fat. Does Guidetti look like he's just decided this isn't for him? That's kind of what I get from it. The talks have stopped. The talks have stopped with him and his agent. That was revealed last week. His body language.
But then that's because he's not been getting a game. So now that he's not been getting games, he's probably taking the hump and saying, "Well, if you're not playing me, then."
No, but that's my point.
Contract talks will kind of stall.
No, but I think the point I'm making is I don't think he's shown a lot of determination to get back in the team. I think you're right. Or maybe he has taken the hump, but ultimately he's not shown a lot of desire to impress when he gets on the pitch. I mean, he was anonymous against Ross County. Thoughts on that?
I don't think he's done enough to want a contract, to be honest. Yes, he scored those goals and he did look impressive for that wee spell, but I agree with you. I don't think he's done much since. Fair enough, he missed a few games with injury and things like that. But even when he was scoring the goals, his performances were never that good.
See, I just want you're making good points, but what I would say to kind of counter that a little bit is there's no other striker who's had 10 or 11 games. He had 10 or 11 games, and he scored the goals, and I'm not taking that away from him absolutely. But Griffiths hasn't had 10 games in the number 9. Skepovic hasn't had 10 games in a row. So I'm not saying Guidetti's a bad player, because he's not a bad player, right? But we might get more from Skepovic if we actually play him, because he's just not getting the chance to impress. We might get more from Griffiths if we actually play him. These two guys haven't had the opportunity for that run, because if you remember, Guidetti didn't start scoring straight away. I think it was about 2 or 3 games where he didn't score, but he still played, and then he scored his first goal, and then he got the confidence, and then he went on, scored the 10 or 11 games, and then his form dipped, and he still got played for about 4 or 5 games afterwards. You know, no striker that we've got in the squad has had that run, and that's why Guidetti's almost put in an unfair kind of vantage point compared to Griffiths and Skepovic, because he's had that run, and he's been allowed to time to bed in. Don't know.
I kind of feel as if the way the talk is and the way things appear, it's almost as if Guidetti has this kind of all the control in the matter, and he has the kind of control over the club, which I think Celtic have to. I'm sure they are behind the scenes, but I think
Dalek came out and said we'd be looking at other targets now. It's not all about. The power's not in his hands.
Yeah, well, I think they have to kind of make that point known that it's not up to him whether he gets a contract. We need to offer him one first, and one that we're happy with. And just for me, I don't think he's really done enough. I would like him to be successful, but then as you say, if you then give Griffiths 10 games, you give Skepovic 10 games, well, what's he going to do? And then at the same time, he's not going to be happy. But we're not playing someone just to keep them happy, especially when they're a lone player. That'd be madness.
Yeah, no, absolutely agree. You talked about him putting a pedestal, and I think part of that's not just that he did have a great run and it was 10 goals in 11 games, 11 goals in 10 games, whatever it was. But they were spectacular as well, those free kicks. So I think that just gave the club a kind of big G up when maybe we were down a little bit.
We need a hero. What's the next line?
Crying out for a hero.
Crying out for a hero till the end of the night. He's got to be good. He's got to be
Strong.
Swedish. He's got to be
tall.
tall. Yes. Is he tall?
I think so. I don't know. Tallish. Chris, would you sign him?
Yep.
Bryan, would you sign him?
Yeah, I think there's definitely something about him. I don't know why he said the dip in form. The likelihood is he's the sort of player. I mean, he done it with Feyenoord when he scored the hat trick against Ajax. He's a big game player, and Sunday might be the perfect platform for him. So yeah, I'd sign him.
Ciaran, would you sign him at this point?
Not at this point on what he's shown so far, no. But he is a youngster. He could be given more. So it depends on what kind of deal he wants. I mean, he might be wanting to ask fucking outstanding kind of wages because he knows he can probably go down south, a bottom half table team, and get decent wages.
Yeah,
so,
like Liverpool, bottom half the table.
What? But he's supposed to be going Southampton, because obviously Koeman took him to Feyenoord.
That's right.
And that's Koeman get the best out of him so far. So I thought that he might go to Southampton and then
I think I think it was yourself, Chris, that made the point, and the 2 podcasts ago. If the only actually it might have been Christian. Anyway, if Guidetti doesn't sign, then someone else still needs to be brought in. Obviously, that's more for the summer, but I mean, we could get him to fuck his pish. I think he's certainly one who started to split opinion in terms of what he's done, because a lot of people are maybe unhappy with when he plays. He's just not doing it, and I don't know, is that down to, I mean, his conditioning still doesn't look that sharp still, and I don't know if he's got it in him to care enough to get that sharp. I think there's certainly a mental thing with him.
The thing is, one of the last podcasts we did in the bedroom there, we were
no one's going to know what I mean.
and in the other room, I should have said, there we go, is we were having a discussion over who was the last player that's excited you as much as Guidetti.
Yeah.
Now, I think Boud touched on it with his
Excitement in the bedroom.
wasn't a bedroom, it was the other room, but there just happened to be a fucking bed in it, you know what I mean? But it was like, Boud touched on it, those free kicks were just, they were a joy to watch, everyone likes a good free kick. And we were talking about who's the last player that excited you that much, and that's the level of excitement he generated. Okay, only for a brief period, but he's got that level of talent. Now, the team as a whole, we touched on it, we're not kind of getting that form, we're not getting that consistency. We need to aim to do that, but I think if we get Guidetti to be able to play, at that level, and you need to remember this is the only first few months of football the guy's had, with his injury problems and stuff like that. If we can get him there, he could be an extremely valuable asset to us, and I've got a feeling he fucking will be, starting this Sunday.
Terrific. I can know it's hard to. Well, I guess we can look at the end of the season and see what it's got. The deal, if we do.
Da.
The deal's got to suit both club and player, though. I wouldn't pay over the nose for him, and if he wants a ridiculous sum
Over the nose?
under the nose,
Is that real soon?
is that? Over the odds, under the nose, whatever. If he does want, I don't think the club should be held to ransom. If he's asking for stupid money, then let him go to Stoke again and fail again. Chris?
I was just going to say, somebody, I can't for life of me remember, it might have been Frank McGarvey, it was an ex-player, and he just made the point that Guidetti's possibly carrying some niggle or knock, because the drop in form happened suddenly and then just has been consistent, and is it possible that he's just not fit? And the other point one of the cynics made is that, was it Ian or Martin seen him arguing with his lady friend in town, and then the form went, so maybe that's it. But yeah, I don't think that's impossible, that maybe there's just some wee niggle there that is holding him back.
It's a fair enough point. I mean, as I say, we'll see at the end of the season. Hold this space. Look at this space. I can't speak today for somebody. Hold this space.
Watch this space, I believe.
Watch this space. Okay, you know what? We're going to wrap up. But what we want
Guidetti loves a rap. I think that's where he's focusing his career, isn't it? Him and Big Van Dijk.
How did Van Dijk not do the old
Big Virgil loves a rap.
They're always up for a rap. Like, see if you ever Celtic TV have it, the two of them up rapping.
It's shite though, so it's not like we should watch it. I don't.
I love a rap.
Get on.
I love a rap.
Everybody's up for a rap.
The old hip hop music.
What?
No, Vanilla Ice and all that.
So we had one question from Ginty, a hard G, Chris.
Man is a hard G.
He's asking about. Sorry, Boud, can you read the question?
Yeah, he's asking if Celtic are financially missing Rangers, how do we increase our revenue streams?
It's a fair point, but it's something actually we'll come back to next week because we actually.
Thanks for tweeting us a week in advance.
No, we actually will come back. We'll do a kind of feature on it next week about how we can improve our revenue streams because it is something really, really interesting.
Ronnie's Rose t-shirts.
We're either going to have beaten or been beaten by the team formerly known as Rangers. I don't think we're going to be talking about revenue streams. I think we're going to be crying or just shouting "Yas" over and over again.
Yes. As I say, we'll come back to it next week. Thanks, Ginty. Predictions? We're actually going to.
Hey! Thank you. If I had a microphone, I would have been doing the exact same thing. If I had the microphone, I would have been doing the same thing. Thank you, Sermanni.
What did you say? Predictions?
Predictions for the fight.
Pain. Right,
Rocky
sorry.
3, Mr. 2.
Great stuff.
That rhymed.
Predictions? Pain. Oh, Jesus. Louis, prediction?
Um,
And for Scott.